Every knife has a different angle and sweet spot. But before we start talking about that, let's talk about the anatomy of a blade. So the top part that's sharp is called the edge. The part that's closest to the handle, that's called the hill. The pointy part at the top, that's called the tip. The part that you're going to be sharpening, that's called the bevel, and the transition from that to the body is called the shoulder. The part on the back that cannot cut is called the spine. This curved part in the very tip is called the belly. Using a marker, I'm going to go ahead and run it down the length of the edge. And I'm going to make sure that I have both bevels colored in. This lets me know how the stones are interacting with the blade, and lets me know how I can adjust the settings for this knife. Using the 1000 grit stone, I'm going to scrub over the top of the vise, and then I'm going to check where the marker is being removed. If it's being removed from the very top of the edge, that means my angle is too wide. I need to narrow it down by 1 degree increment and try again. I'm going to continue this until I have the whole marker removed. If I find that I'm removing from the shoulder, that means that my angle is too narrow. And doing similar as before, I'm going to step it up by 1 degree increments and keep going until that marker is removed. Once I'm done on one side, I need to check the other side, since it may be different. But just repeating the process, you do this exact same thing. Once you've found the angle on both sides, now you're ready to find the sweet spot of the knife. This is the correct forward and backwards positioning of the knife to make sure you get down the entire length of the bevel. To do this, we're going to go ahead and remark the knife. And then I'm going to do alternating strokes to get rid of the marker. I'm going to focus on the very belly and tip of the knife, and if the marker is being removed from the top of the edge but not the shoulder, that means I need to move the knife away from me. If I find that the marker is being removed from the shoulder but not the edge, that means the knife needs to move towards me. An easy way to remember this is to move the knife in the direction that the marker is being removed from. If you find that both sides do not match, that's perfectly okay, and pretty normal actually. There's a couple of choices that you can do from here. You can match the angle that's already on the knife, and the way to do this is to set the angle to the lower angle and use the micro adjust to match that other angle. Another option, if you do not have the micro angle adjust, or if you want both bevels to match, is you can choose the middle point in between those angles and go there. For example, if one side is 21 degrees and the other side is 17 degrees, then you just go to 19 degrees and reprofile the blade there. If you found that the marker has been removed down the entire length of the bevel, that means that you can use a finer stone such as the 400-600 during the rest of your sharpening process. If you find that there's still marker in some spots down the length, that means you need a bit of a coarser stone such as the 100-200. If you find that the process is taking a bit too much time, you could step it down 1 grit and continue from there. The first time you sharpen a knife, you may notice that the marker is not being removed from the entirety of the bevel, even though you have the correct angle and sweet spot on the knife. This can be due to most knives being sharpened by hand on a belt sander. This can lead to inconsistent bevel sizes, angles, and curves in the knife. You simply just have to remove as much of the marker as possible. If you need more assistance with an oddly shaped knife, check out the link below.